Good evening, everyone, and welcome to LGE coverage here for Monday's Limitless One for Limitless Formula Racing here at Monza for the Italian Grand Prix, of course, the Temple of Speed. We've got 19 drivers and one to join the session to make a full grid in qualifying. We've got the normal short qualifying session up now, no sprint this week. Of course, I wasn't here for last week at Australia, which was replaced by Russia, and King David did win that one last time out. I'm back with Lee tonight for not for a long time actually, a few weeks I think, after having the week off.
Yeah, I think it's been a while to be honest, but looking forward to this race, seeing what these guys are going to put out there today.
We'll have to see what the weather is going to be like. It looks like an overcast session for qualifying. I'm sure someone will let us know if it will be a wet race or wet into qualifying. As I said, 18 minutes in the session, 19 cars at the moment, with 20 to come. Stinos is still in the lead of the championship and by some margin now, and it's looking unlikely that he's going to be challenged for that title now, so it may just be a waiting game until he grabs that title.
Yeah, possibly, but I mean, you never know what could happen. But most likely it's looking like he is going to run away with the title. We've seen Crossfire's first man out on track.
Just coming around turn 3, knocking out the Pirelli advertising boarding there. Strange line to take through turn 3. Darth Vader is out on the track, as well as Lewis, who is reserving tonight from Tuesday, who took a select few who think might make the running for next season in Monday. So we'll just see how they get on today. So we had quite a few drivers unable to attend. So looking like it's going to be a potential dry session. These a lot of drivers are out on track really rather quickly.
Two people out on the mediums. Everyone else, it looks like softs.
I'll just get the tyre graphics up now. Yeah, so it's Iggy Combo and Robin who have gone out on the mediums. Everyone else has gone out on the soft tyres. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Are we going to see anyone trying to play the slipstream game, Lee? That's the next question. So it's already starting to happen here with Iggy Combo just behind Shot Be Like, who's reserving tonight in the Mercedes for either one of Tim Schpoff or Ruding, and Merv Martin's the other reserve driver in the Mercedes this evening. But yeah, looking like a lot of drivers on out laps. Crossfires Lee is the first driver on his lap. Coming around turn 3 now and down towards turn 4. De La Roggia's chicane. Mind to watch the big old orange sausage curves there, because it will really send your car flying, as we know from Max Verstappen last year, as he goes wide at the first Lesmo, and is now bailed out of that lap, Lee.
Yeah, that was a close one. Yeah, you always have to be careful on that exit curve, not to be too greedy with it, or it will just chew you up and spit you out.
So,
Just
watching Shot Be Like at the moment, Lee, and the Mercedes also coming to the first part of the Lesmos now, where Crossfires did make that mistake. No mistake there from the Mercedes drivers. He comes out the second Lesmo and down the back straight, the second of the two DRS straights. Crossfire Strikes takes the first time of the day, and of course sets the fastest time with a 1:25.9, but did make that big mistake at the first Lesmo, so surely that will be beaten, Lee, and is by Darth Vader with a 1:20.7, a very quick time to get himself out of the block, especially with James doing a 1:21.4, which is over half a second away from first place. Shot Be Like now saying 1:21.6. And Trunders with a 1:21.1. That's a good time from the Alfa Romeo man. The only man in Tuesday not to set a time. Yellow flags. What was that, Lee?
Jason just so close to second place.
As Merv Martin just snatches it away from Darth Vader there with a 1:20.710.
8/100ths of a second.
Yeah, so still very close margins. Only two drivers into the 120s so far. As Mr. Bosworth, Harry, goes into third place in the Red Bull. And Crossfire Strikes now takes provisional pole with a 1:20.5. Time's tumbling down already, Lee.
Oh, looks like Stenilis is going for a slipstream in Apex here.
Yeah, it looks like he's pulled off a really good slipstream there out of the final corner, and he goes 12th fastest, so must have made a big mistake on his lap. Looks like he's going again for a second run. The championship leader down in 12th, I hope probably not for very much longer as Kev Jazz is off the road.
That looked like a big lock up there, I think.
As Shugsby like the Thursday driver comes across the line, the Alpha Tauri 12th, moves Stinos down, and Iggy Combo, the other Tuesday driver, is James. The Thursday champion-elect is around facing the wrong way. He needs to be careful not to get disqualified for driving the wrong direction. I think he got away with that one. As Stinos is out of qualifying, the championship leader has spun by the looks of things between the two Lesmos.
Yep.
And the only man set a time now in the 1:25, so looking like he's definitely going to be starting from the back. The man on provisional pole is also out of qualifying, out at the Ascari chicane. As we see the championship leader out, with just over half this session gone. The current championship leader, Apex Finley, goes onto the front row. Takes second with a 1:20.6.
I'm just on board with Veloce right now as he's coming into the Ascari chicane. He's the only person out on track at the moment on a flying lap who's not set a time yet, so let's see what he's going to do. He's coming around the final corner now. Is he going to get a good time in? It's looking like it. Oh no, he's bailing out.
He has bailed out. Well, go to wait seat now, Lee. The other Alpha Tauri driver in 32 car, the new man to take that spot. More games had to leave the league after last week. His seat was quickly replaced. And looks like he has got some good speed doing a social race last night. He put in a good show in there. He said Stenos is quite far and away at the moment. Doesn't look like anyone could catch him. Certainly someone who's starting quite late on into the season, over the halfway mark, as he comes under the old banking. Sets a 53.7 in his second sector. A little lift there through the second part of Ascari as he now runs down the back straight towards the final corner, formerly known as Parabolica. Apologies, I can't remember what the new name of the corner is, but we'll call it Parabolica tonight, Lee. It has changed. He took a very shallow line there through the last corner. He goes 7th, the fastest, just slotting in behind the two Red Bulls of Anthony and H. Bosworth, just ahead of MSC Trunders. Big Rear is on an out lap and just about to start, as he does now, his second lap of the day. Just over 9 minutes left in the session. He surely only has one more lap after this one, Lee.
Almost late, but ooh. Lucas Jeremy, what's the time is he going to put in? A 1:20.8.
So a lot of drivers into the 120s now, Lee. The 8 drivers are are in the top into that 120 margin now. The top 10 are separated by about 6/10, the top 13 by just under a second. Obviously not too big a track here at Monza, but still quite tight margins. We see the Northern Irishman, a big rear coming through the Ascari chicane and down the long back straight. Doesn't use all of the road there, Liz. He tries to use all of the inside of the road towards the line. Goes 9th fastest with a 120.9 as well. There's two drivers into the 120.9s.
As soon as to cross the line, a 120.8.
Goes 6th fastest.
So the only person not to set a lap at the moment is Veloce. He's on his out lap now, just coming into the Ascari chicane. We'll be hoping to get a little bit of slipstream off of the driver ahead, I'm guessing. Of
Veloce, yeah. Was it really? Oh no, it's
Apex.
Apex Finley ahead of him, yeah. So as we come down.
Oh, he's taking a really wide line. And he's just invalidating both his laps. Fine. Yep, he has.
Yeah, he has. He has. So that is not a good start for Veloce. Of course, he can't be. He surely isn't going to be last. He only needs to set a lap time lead to not be the last man. As we're sure to see King David turn up.
Oh, Merv.
In the very near future, with Merv Martin taking provisional pole with a 120.3, now 2/10 up on Crossfires, who has retired from the session, so he can do no more to improve his lap time.
Harry's round. H-Boswell's are round at Lesmo 2.
He's just scraped the wall there. He's just trying to get the car facing the right direction with Apex Finley now, said the current champ, as he comes underneath the old banking through the Ascari chicane. Says he takes purple in sector 2. We're always thinking about the last corner now. Make sure we get a good exit. Use all of the road on the outside as the Aston slides through the final corner. He is going to set the time, and what's the time going to be? It's a 120.4, close, but not close enough just yet. His drivers are just exiting the pits to do their next lap, and Apex Finley is on the front row, has got enough time to do a another attempt, probably be his third attempt. And Shotby Life is in 4th place at the moment, just off the road, letting James go past there. And Veloce has just started another lap, Lee.
Who was that said that? Who was
Veloce.
Oh right, Veloce, yeah.
As he's took purple in sector 1 as well, Lee.
It tends to say that when you've not got a time on the board any time, and I tend not never trust it, to be honest. I've seen Iggy Combo right now. He's just coming around the last corner. Let's see what he's going to put in. .7, 4th place.
4th place for Iggy Combo. That's a good time. Is that Alpine almost impeded Veloce?
Oh! Look at the gap between 4th and 5th. 1/1000th of a second.
That is so close. 3 drivers in the 127s. What is Veloce going to do? He's going to take 1st place, provisional pole for the McLaren.
He just destroyed their times.
And McLaren in 1st place in recent times has not been unfamiliar territory here at Monza.
Oh yeah, funnily enough, I forgot about that. That was a good race, to be honest. But let's see who's on what. Wait, see is coming around finishing his lap. Puts it fourth at 20.4, 0.02 of a second from third place.
Who was that? Sorry, Waitsy.
Yeah, but he was only 0.02 of a second off third place. Let's see, we've got Darth Vader. I think he's just away to come around, finishes the lap. Is looking like a good time. Ooh. 20.5.
20.5 there for Darth Vader. This field is very closely. The 13 drivers are in the 120s.
Oh! Runs on a lap there. He hits the wee sausage curb on the inside of turn 1 and it just sent him flying. That's unfortunate. Kim Jazz is around at turn 2.
Kim Jazz has been getting a lot of practice in, and at the moment it's not doing him much justice. He's in 17th at the moment with a 121.3. Shugsby Life looks like he's had an incident with him as Waitsy retires from the session.
Oh, that was scary.
Not too sure if that was scary. We're into the final stages of qualifying. As we're seeing Lewis start his final lap. And a few drivers are on their outlap slate. We'll pick a driver to stick with towards the end of this session. We've got any drivers getting close towards the end of their laps yet? Maybe the Mercedes of Merv Martin. I think he is on his lap and he's up on his time as he comes towards the final corner now. And on the approach to the line, is he going to snatch that pole position away from Veloce? He's on his outlap at the moment. He does. He gets into the low 120s. We're almost into the 119s now in qualifying. As we've got Veloce Ayub on a lap. We've got Apex Finley on his lap, but now had to bail out. He's got 43 seconds on the clock. Potentially he can go again if he has got the fuel on board. As Anthony powers around the final corner now with 30 seconds left on the clock before the checker comes out at the end of qualifying as he crosses the line now. 7th fastest with a 120.7 dead. And the field is ever so close. You're going to have to keep an eye on the drivers finishing their times as Veloce is about to start his final lap with 14 seconds left on the clock. And now Iggy Combo is the last man to start his final lap as we see a driver jump up the order. Lucas goes second fastest with a 120.2. That's two drivers in the 120.2s now. The checkered flag is now out. Shugs Life is coming around the final corner. The number 2 Alpha Tauri. Can he get himself further up the pecking order as H. Bosworth crosses the line, goes 4th fastest with a 120.3. No, Shugs can't get himself off the bottom row as looks like King David isn't able to join us as we've got a Merc of Merv Martin who is in the pits, so he's not going to be able to improve on his time. Lucas A. Germany looks like he's finished his session as well. Doesn't look like he's on another lap. We've got the Ferrari of Robin going slow. And Bigway across this line, 13th fastest for the Aston Martin driver is Apex Finley. Did start to set another lap and is coming around the corner to finish set lap. As he comes across the line now, I don't think he's going to beat his time. He does. Goes up to place was
Oh,
120.3. Veloce takes provisional pole and looks like he isn't going to be beaten now. That's a 120 dead as well with the 120.011. That was a super quick time from the McLaren driver. Trunders is round. Looks like he isn't going to improve. Lucas say Germany wasn't on a lap. He's into the pits. That is the end of qualifying. Veloce Ayub takes another pole position with Merv Martin on the front row with him. Well, that was a little bit exciting, Lee.
I'm actually surprised at some of the laps, like how close a lot of them were, to be honest.
Yeah, well, just before it ends, hopefully quickly. So between the top 15, it was 1.1 seconds, Lee.
Mm-hmm.
That is very, very quick indeed. The top two were in a slight league of their own there. I'm sure Stenos would have been in the mix, but of course having that incident at the start of qualifying. So, here's your finishing order for qualifying for the start of round 12's Italian Grand Prix. Veloce Ayub takes pole position with Merv Martin joining him on the front row. Lucas A. Germany is in third place in the Haas. Apex Finlay is in fourth, hoping to get a good toe down towards turn one. The first of the Tuesday drivers, H. Bosworth, is in fifth place. Sixth place is Waitsy, the new driver for this week. Darth Vader is in seventh. Lewis is eighth. Crossfire Strikes is ninth. Rounding out the top 10 is Anthony. Iggy's the first man starting the fresh tyres. He did that last night as well in the social race. Shot Be Like is 12th. 13th is Big Weir, Robin is 14th, 15th is Trunders, James is 16th, 17th is Chemjazz, Shugsby Life is 18th, and Stenos rounds out our 19-car grid. So Lee doesn't look like King David is going to join us, but still 19 drivers is a decent amount to go racing, especially at Imola with all these long straights. But it isn't always so easy to make overtakes here with these long DRS trains.
No, it isn't, to be honest. It's with everyone running more of a top speed sort of setup, so it's not going to be as effective, the DRS, in this sort of aspect. So, like, if it was like, say, a high downforce track, it would come in handy a lot more. But here we go, we've got the countdown going for the formation lap. Here.
So we should be getting this formation lap underway. Lee, sorry, I just had my mic on mute for a few words and realised I already had it. She started talking. So we'll have a look at the drivers outside of the top 10. The last 9 drivers on the grid. This is the last season, of course. We're going to see the mix-up in tyre strategies in the bottom 10 drivers, because, of course, the rule is now changed. Everyone can start on whatever set they like, which I'm thinking it's not maybe the best idea. I think I preferred the old system, but there you go. Anyway, it's all softs and mediums outside the top 10. Lee, 3 drivers on the softs and all the rest on the medium tyres.
Yeah, it's I would say it's a bit surprising, but it could come in handy later on. Could fail them at the start, you never know.
So what are your predictions, Lee? Where is Stenos going to come at the end of the race? He's got himself a little last to first challenge. He's got himself a tall order ahead of him now.
Yeah, he has got a bit of a challenge. He's got to make sure that he's got those tyres up nice and toasty for the start, so you can get a good launch off the grid.
And starting on the softs gone aggressive as well.
Yeah, but then you've also got to be careful going into turn 1, as it is a very tight chicane. So, I have no idea.
As we see, Lewis and Darth Vader, they're getting disqualified at the end of the formation lap, making a bit of contact just before it took over by the looks of things, but luckily it was right at the end of the formation lap. As we're about to get set and wait for Stinos, our championship leader, to form up on the grid. He's on the softs for the start of this Grand Prix, looking like a one-stop that it's going to be. His rival, who is in second place, the only man that looks like he can challenge him at the moment, is on pole position. But what is Veloce going to do? We've got 5 red lights, and we're away for Monday's Limitless Ones Italian Grand Prix. And Merv Martin looks like he's got himself a really good start there and has the inside line. Crucially, towards turn 1 we go. And he's still got the inside. He brakes a little bit later than the McLaren, gets himself ahead, takes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Iggy Combo has had to take to the escape road there and now losing himself down the position, down the order there with Anthony as well. Had to follow suit and is now at the back of the field. Merv Martin is still in the lead as we run down towards turn 4 apex. Looked like he tried to go for a move. Lucas A. Germany's made a bit of contact there with Veloce Ivory now off the track, and had to give the position to Apex Fithney. And there's a lot of drivers in the background, Lee, who are having issues there. Crossfire Strikes might be round. No, Waitsy is round. The new driver in the Alpha Tauri has had himself a spot of bother there at turn 4.
I've been sitting on board with Stinos, and he's up to 10th place now from 19th. He's managed to get himself up a few places and take advantage of all the mishaps that have been happening.
He certainly has, and other drivers as well as James as well, our Thursday champion, and Shockby Light moving up 7 places as well to get himself into 5th place as we come over the line to start lap 2. And of course Merv Martin does take the fastest lap, and Apex Finlay is hunting down the McLaren of Veloce Ayub. He looks to the inside, now looks to the outside, to the inside again, and lunges to that inside and gets squeezed out by Veloce Ayub, who almost runs off the track himself at the exit of turn 2 as we now run down towards turn 3. The long flat out Curva Grande as we now run down towards turn 4. And that,
Right now, this is what Merv's wanting, is them two to be fighting.
he really
This is
does,
giving
yeah.
him a perfect opportunity to just pull away.
As we're on board with the Haas driver of Lucas A. Germany. As Robin is out of the Italian Grand Prix. We're down to 18 drivers. It's a virtual safety car deployed. Give some of the drivers a little bit of respite.
I think that was Lesmo too, yep. Yeah, that's unfortunate, this went and ruined his race, but VSC, so there's not really a chance. Are we going to see some pit stops?
No one's dived into the pits. Like I see he's there at the corner of my eye.
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
But no one has made a pit stop. Waitsy has got himself a tall order ahead. He would have been hoping for a safety car, but of course we have got a virtual safety car. Can get upgraded, doesn't look like he's going to be. Has a drive-through penalty for Chemjazz there for speeding under the VSC. Looks like he didn't get a warning about the restart there, and Veloce Ayub is within DRS as we are now on lap 3, and of course DRS is enabled immediately at the end of a VSC, unlike a safety car where you have to wait 2 laps. As we now come around the second Lesmo, he will have DRS on the leader. As we run down the back straight.
I won't be able to make the overtake just yet. He'll maybe need to wait, I would say, a lap maybe.
He might have to wait. He may be able to get it done at turn 1. in a few corners time, or a couple of corners time, as we're coming down to the last corner on lap 3.
Ooh, Stenos is making an overtake on James. Going into the final corner.
Takes the inside.
And he makes it stick.
Gets it done. Nice move. Moves himself up. No wonder he's our championship leader at the moment. He's certainly putting in a champion stride at the moment, shot be like. As we see in the background, Darth Vader and Big Weir. Big moves between these drivers down the straight there. Maybe a late move from Darth Vader, but Big Weir gets through. Veloce has left the session, Lee. You might want to have to deal with that and fast, as he is going to lose track position now to the championship leader, the current champion of Apex, Finley. Stenos is now up into 7th place, overtakes Darth Vader. Potentially, he let his teammate through it now. We've got the Northern Irishman of Big Weir just ahead of him as we go through the second Lesmo. And Veloce is now losing more and more positions, and Shotby Like is right on the rear wing of the Haas. Looks like he's going to try and go for the move. No, not yet. He's a little bit too far back there, as Veloce is now rejoined the session, but he's now down in 6th place and got his championship rival right on the rear, and he almost lost his own rear there as we come out of the Ascari chicane and now down towards the final corner. And Darth Vader is now going to get the move as well on Veloce, because he will be taking control of his car, so other drivers do need to be careful of this, as Lewis is now very close behind his teammate, as well as I think he has now took back control of his car, as other drivers are making moves here. Lucas Germany and Shot Be Like battling for that 3rd place as we come out of turn 2. Stenos is up into 5th place, but no, Shot Be Like is out of the Italian Grand Prix at the exit of turn 2. Safety car deployed.
No, this is what Waitsy's want.
This is certainly what Waitsy's been waiting for. As Merv Martin, he's going to have to pit. We'll get Lee back in a few moments' time. Just wait to see what these drivers do into the pit lane. A few drivers have already pit. Most sensibly, they've got to be careful not to get themselves lapped, though. I don't think that will happen, though. I think all these drivers will pit. It's basically a free pit stop. They would be pretty silly not to. As Waitsy is now in the pits. A set of mediums off, a set of mediums on, a new set. And out of the pits he comes. In comes our race leader at the other end of the pit lane, Merv Martin in the Mercedes, as Lucas Germany stays out, as well as Big Weir on the mediums. No surprise there from the Aston Martin. We're going to go back and look at the tyre situation. Merv Martin goes on to the hards. Interesting choice there. And this is really aided Veloce as well, obviously leaving the session, even for that brief moment, maybe no more than a minute. Really cost him, as he's now down in 10th place. But looks like just the top 3 have not stopped. Shugs is out. Shug Life is out of the Grand Prix. Not sure if he retired in the pits. Was that at the exit of the Parabolica there? We're about to find out with Chemjazz. Should come around the final corner. Yeah, there he is. He has binned it. That's a very odd place to be doing that, as we see Crossfire Strikes pushing Anthony along to catch up to the safety car. I don't think it'll be coming in this lap, Lee. I think we're going to get another lap of this.
Yeah.
Very surprised though, Lee, of Lucas Germany staying out on those soft tyres.
It's
strange
surprising. I mean, fair enough, the medium runners, but the soft. I wouldn't have expected that with the softs, to be honest. But then again, sometimes you got to take these risks. on the bright side, they'll be able to heat up quicker. So it'll be easier to get temperature into them for the restart.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I certainly think it's going to be interesting with Lucas. He must be trying to go a little bit longer and just do the one stop on the mediums, to just have fresher mediums than everyone else towards the end.
Most likely.
So yes, we will have another lap. It's up to Waitsy to get us underway again, I suppose. He's the last man to catch up, and he's sure to catch up before the end of this second sector. I shouldn't think it might be a slightly later call, but I think he will catch up, Lou.
Yeah, I'm thinking that myself.
Because of course when you're catching up to the safety car, you are able to go full speed. And it looks like it will just be a slightly late call. They might call it, the race director might call it, when those small gaggle of cars just catching up to the back of the pack there on the track map. Just join the back of the field. Waitsy is not too far behind. Hopefully this won't be out, but I think this will be a late call and it'll be perfect for Waitsy as well. He hasn't called this, but I'm pretty sure it will come in now. Safety car in this lap.
Bit of a late call, but
yeah, it was right on the cusp, but Waitsy has got himself in a really, really good position there. He's going to have the warmest tyres of the whole field of 16 as we come towards the final corner. Iggy and Harry are switching positions there. Bit of trouble in the midfield at the start of the safety car. Lucas A. Germany gets us back underway on lap 8 here at Monza. As he caught Big Weir slightly off guard there, almost gained a second on the Aston Martin. As James is just behind Merv Martin. He's got to defend against Apex Finley, who goes down the inside at turn 1. Mediums versus the hard tyres. The mediums are going to pay off much better than those hards, as he's going to have trouble getting those up to temperature. Stinos is now going to challenge Merv Martin for that 5th place as well, but Lewis is getting himself involved. Also, it may be 3 wide into the De La Rocha chicane we go now, and there's contact there. It looks like Merv is now round into the wall. Lost his entire front wing. 3 does not go into 1, Lee.
nope.
But I'm not too sure whose fault that was. It looked like Lewis might have been slightly over the limit there of trying to be a bit aggressive. He looked like he was mostly on the grass. He's still fighting for positions here as we see James lose the position to Apex Finley. Is Lewis goes round the outside of Darth Vader. What a move at the Ascari chicane. I've never seen a move there before. As Veloce is now trying to follow suit with his McLaren teammate, now tries to also go around the outside, but in another corner at the Parabolica, but isn't able to get the job done just yet. Trundles is holding on in that Alfa Romeo, but not for much longer, and he might have it. He did. He just had a slight bit of contact there with Trundles. He tried to move across, but didn't have the space. Looks to the inside of Darth Vader. Is he going to try and go for the switchback at turn 2? No, wasn't left enough room. Darth Vader parked it right on the apex. Stinos is very close behind James now as well, as he looks to the inside. Doesn't go for the move, just a little bit too far back. Going back towards Veloce Ayub here. Still hanging on to the coattails as Waitsy moves himself up to 12th place on Anthony. It looks like he's really struggling today in the midfield.
Sitting on board with some of the people here at the rear end of the middle. of the pack. Look like Veloce and Darth Vader are quite close together.
Yellow flag, that's Chem Jazz. Not too sure what happened there. That was interesting. One is we see Apex just behind his teammate. The Aston Martin's running really well at the moment. Hopefully Big Wheel will let him go through. Stinos has got to fight his way through though. Tries to go around the outside of James. Now has the inside for turn 2. Almost hits the sausage curb. That was almost. Red Bull, Mercedes, Lewis and Max. Replica there, Lee. It turn 2.
Yeah, it was quite close, like.
As Stinos tries to fight again, now around the outside once again, going to have the inside. But no, James shuts the door on him, the Alfa Romeo driver, the champion in Thursday, the Bentley driver in Thursday. Of course, is H. Bosworth and Trunders side by side through the first of the 2 Lesmos. And Trunders has now had an incident in the wall and lost his front wing. As Apex Finley moves up into second place. I think his teammate let him glide on through. There is contact between the championship leader and Stinos, championship leader Stinos and James. James, who's been able to come out less unscathed than him. Lewis goes down the inside though, but looks like James is going to have the DRS as we come out of the Parabolica. Action on every lap here at the Italian Grand Prix so far. Elbows have most certainly been out as James goes to the outside. Lewis is on the inside. Stinos goes even more to the outside and takes the pair of them before the braking zone, or does he? James is trying to fight back. Slight contact there between Stinos and James. Veloce sneaks through on his teammates.
Oh, it looks like
and Darth Vader is getting involved as well now. It's Alpines versus McLarens and an Alfa Romeo in the mix as well. As Waitsy is fighting with Iggy Combo. And Iggy stays ahead. But there is literally action around every corner here at the moment. They really can't look away from the action just yet. James is trying to gain some time back to Stinos, but it may be in vain soon, Lee, as it looks like the Aston Martins are really trying to work together here to catch up to Lucas and to get away from Stinos behind.
Yeah, they're good enough doing Lucas as well, because if they start fighting each other, then it's just not going to work.
As James is closing that gap, and he's still closing once more. As Stinos goes to the inside, and James goes round the outside, breaks a little bit later. He's going to have the inside for turn 2. Stinos holds on though, but not for long. James and Stinos make contact. The championship leader is round and reversing, and now hits another driver of who was that? Was that H. Bosworth? Stinos has a 5-second time penalty. I don't think it was his fault that he was spun round, but he made a dangerous call there, reversing back onto the circuit. Carnage here. Italy, I've got China vibes going on, Lee. As Apex Finley is within 2/10 of Lucas A. Germany. He's only won one race this season so far, and now up into the lead. As his teammate of Big Weir is certainly a rear gunner at the moment, and is gunning for Lucas A. Germany. And Veloce is going to try and get past his teammate as well. But he lifts off ever so slightly before that detection point to gain the DRS. Big Weir also goes past, and Lucas A. Germany, of course, who hadn't stopped yet on the soft tyres, now pits for his one-stop strategy, surely to go onto the medium tyres. Veloce moves up into 3rd place. And as it stands, where Stinos is, Lee, Veloce is going to be gaining some hefty points on his championship rival.
Oh yeah, I mean, a bit of a tough one. But we'll have to wait and see how things are going to go. But as it's going, he's going to get a big jump, as she says.
Well, at the moment, the Aston Martins are looking pretty handy at the moment.
Aston Martin 1-2, McLaren 3-4.
And this is a rarity in Monday night. Monday's Limitless 1. Looks like Crossfire Strikes is not far away from getting lapped, and we don't really see that in Monday's drivers getting lapped. The field is quite close together, and that doesn't usually happen too much.
I never even noticed that.
As Lewis is 7/10 behind his McLaren teammate. His McLaren teammate sets the fastest lap of a 1:23.6. Gets ever closer, but not close enough. As Big Weir has had an incident there of his own making by the looks of things and dropped a couple of positions. Now the McLarens are looking in a really handy position. As I said, it's not an uncommon occurrence of recent time for the McLarens to be towards the top of the timing sheets here at Monza, as H. Bosworth and Stenos go side by side. Harry overtakes the championship leader. Championship leader gets himself a great exit. Yellow flags in sector 2. Waitsy again has had himself an incident, was very close to having contact with Anthony there. He's got Lucas A. Germany right behind him on the fresh tyres now. It's going to be the easiest overtake he's made all day. He moves himself up into 11th place. And Chemjaz has retired from the Grand Prix. Lewis F1 dives into the pits, 5-second time penalty for the privilege as well for speeding in the pit lane. As Darth Vader moves out to the inside towards turn 1 we go and gets past Big Weir. That was like a light breeze in the wind. That was so easy. Lee.
Yeah, I was sorry, I was kind of just focusing on that. Oh, sorry. Let me see who else is close here. Harry and Stenos are still quite close at the moment.
Yeah, but they've got Anthony not too far behind, and Lucas is going to be catching up as well here on the fresh tyres.
Ooh, Anthony just goes a wee bit wide at the second chicane there. Goes a little into the gravel trap.
As the sector 1 yellow flag has been cleared up. And down into the Ascari chicane. Harry Bosworth has made himself a little mistake there in the Red Bull.
Oh, there's Anthony going to make moves.
But he's going to wait just that little bit. The DRS is such a big aid here, as I'm sure his Red Bull teammate is not going to hold him up. But Harry's into the wall.
Lucas.
And Lucas has been collected as well, 5-second penalty for a severe collision. And I don't know how he is not out of this Grand Prix. Luckily the pit lane is right there. And Harry is trying to get himself back on track. But he's having to wait for other drivers. He's got himself a gap now. But he's got to be careful. Merv Martin's coming. He's been ever so careful there, as Veloce is now up into second place, Lee.
And all that commotion that's happened, Stenos has managed to get past Iggy Combo, so he's managed to get back up to 6th place for the time being. Is he going to
James.
do it further up?
There's this train of 3 cars, Lee, for 3rd place. With James effortlessly going around the outside as Big Weird does pit. He's got the DRS now, and he's trying to close that gap to Darth Vader, who's in the McLaren Veloce over in the distance. And Stenhouse moves himself up to 5th place, as well as Iggy, Anthony and Waitsy moving themselves up as well. This might be close between Big Weir and Lewis. I think Big Weir is going to get ahead, and he does by a comfortable margin. There's James. He comes around turn 4. Closest battle on track at the moment is for 3rd place. As James flies round the outside, moves himself up into 3rd. He's had a slight bit of controversy with another Alpine today. I'm sure that's going to be brought up in the stewards room later on, Lee.
Yeah, most likely. But as it goes at the moment, we've got Apex Finlay.
Oh, it's James. Sorry, Lee. James pit. Darth Vader was trying to stay in his slipstream and didn't realise that he was going into the pit lane. Almost went straight into the back of him.
Jeez.
This crossfire is now lapped by Darth Vader as well.
Is Big Weir going to get out in front of James? Yep, he has. He's got Lewis.
And there is Lewis, and Lewis gets in front of him as well.
There's Lucas catching as well.
He's got a yellow flag, sector 2. Looks like Crossfire strikes. He's in the wall. Got to be careful when he comes back onto the track. Well done. Just backs himself into a safer position there. A nice, easy way to get himself back on the circuit. See Apex in the lead as it stands.
Looks like James is possibly able to go for a move on Lewis. He's got the DRS wide open, going down the inside. Is he going to go for it? No, he's not. He's holding out. Start-finish straight.
But he is almost pushing through the Ascari chicane, and he really wants to get past him, but he is going to wait till that DRS detection point. A Haas is round again. That's Lucas A. Germany. It's the other Haas. The American team not having a good outing here in Monza, as Anthony moves himself up into 4th place. Darth Vader is now out of the pits. James just goes through on Lewis there. Moves himself up into 8th place. So this race is really still all to play for, I think, Lee. We've still got quite a long way to go.
Oh yeah, there's about 8-9 laps left. So there is still time for all to change. Could easily be a safety car. You never know.
Well, I think Iggy is in a really good position at the moment. He's on the hard tyres. His oldest of the drivers on the mediums ahead. Surely his tyres are going to start becoming the optimal tyre for the top 5.
Yeah, but then you've got Big Weir and James and Lewis just not that far behind. They're on the softs and mediums. So it's going to be a close call.
I think it's going to get very, very interesting. I think there's certainly quite a big fight for potentially 4th place. Is Crossfire's going to have a 3-second time penalty. And James takes the fastest lap, and crucially, another point as he's really, really close to the back of Big Weir now, as Big Weir does go a little bit wide. As we now do have a long run down to the next braking zone. Through the Curva Grande we go. Down to the Della Rocha chicane, turns 4 and 5. As there was a bit of grass trimming there by James on the exit of turn 5. Through the first of the 2 Lesmos, now the second, which is a slightly faster corner than the first Lesmo. Sets yourself up nicely down this straight, under the banking, and into the Ascari chicane. As we see, Lewis has had himself an instant there and is round on the exit of Ascari. The rear lights flashing from the Aston Martin of Big Weir, harvesting his battery. As James is going to make short work of Big Weir and moves himself into 7th. It's going to be interesting to see what happens between James and Big Weir. Are they going to try and work together to catch up to the guys ahead, because there is a bit of a gap towards the front, but their tyres are going to start fading soon, Lee.
I'm not sure. I mean, we could work together, but I'm not sure if they will. Because we've seen Lewis is into the pits, so now he's just on his way out. A fresh set of softs.
Crossfires snatches the fastest lap. He won't get a point for that, of course, but he snatches away from his rivals who are in the top 10. This is really interesting, Lee. I really don't know what's going to happen. Just keep an eye on these drivers on the softs. These 3 drivers, Darth Vader slightly behind the other 2. But if these drivers ahead start getting involved in fights with these medium and hard runners ahead of them, the top 6, Darth Vader might be able to close up that gap a little bit more. I tell you who has closed up the gap, Lee, is Veloce, and Apex has now made a mistake in his round at the Della Rocha chicane. We just caught that on board with Veloce. Veloce moves himself up into 1st place. Lucas A. Germany is out. That could be a safety car. Is it going to be a safety car or a virtual safety car? We still got a yellow flag in sector 3. We usually have had it by now, but don't think we're going to have it. No. Unfortunately not.
That's surprising.
That is a surprise. So let's say Germany leaves the session. Closest battle on track at the moment is between Waitsy and Iggy Combo. Iggy looked like he lost a big chunk of time, whereas Waitsy just gained a big chunk of time. But no matter, they are very close together. We've got another yellow flag in sector 2. It's a McLaren. It's crossfire strikes. So that's not going to be a safety car. Waitsy moves himself up into 5th place. Takes position off Iggy Combo there. On lap 23 of 27. Here for Monday's Limitless Ones, round 12 of the Italian Grand Prix. You're watching it on Limitless Gaming Esports. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much appreciated. We're trying to get to the end of 200 subscribers by the end of the season, or towards the start of next season, sort of the middle of the summer. So it'd be appreciated if you could hit that red button. We're with a red car at the moment though, Lee. James in the Alfa Romeo, and he's within 5/10 of Iggy Combo ahead of him. And the soft runners are not making up the time like I think they would have expected, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, I did expect them to be gaining a bit more time, but
Side by side here, Lee, between Iggy and James. Looks like James
Big
is.
We're going to sneak through as well. Yep.
But is Big Weir going to pounce on the pair of them? He might go and go for the overtake on James now. Is wow, no, thinks better of it. James does go slightly deep there, missed the apex at its optimum point. He is able to hold on to 6th place. They haven't got long left in this race, and they haven't got far to go in terms of that's another yellow flag. That's another driver around. That was crossfire strikes again, I think. As Waitsy is just behind Anthony. And James is only 1.2 seconds behind, so I think this is a battle for 4th place now, Lee.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I don't think there's any chance of catching Stinos at the moment. Who bet? Oh, it was Trunders. But, yeah, it doesn't look like top 3 are going to change at the moment. I mean, Anthony still could get somewhere because Stinos does have that 5-second penalty on his head. But it will be a tall order.
Sorry, Waitsy is going round the outside at turn 1.
Oh, big lock up there from Anthony. And he ends up
Anthony's on the gravel and James gets through. Looks like Big Will's going to get through as well. Darth Vader is now going to maybe get himself in the mix. Waitsy's 10 seconds behind Stinos, even though Stinos had that incident. As Waitsy, Anthony, I'm not sure what's going on there. Looks like a driver maybe had an incident there, an error. No, maybe not. Maybe there was a yellow flag, but only for a moment, as Darth Vader is now right on the gearbox of the Alpha Tauri. Waitsy does have DRS as well. We have got this classic DRS train, 1/10 between 5th and 4th. James has got a time penalty now. May mean Darth Vader doesn't need to take such big risks. If we get Big Will's going to take such big risks. Darth Vader is still behind Waitsy. A big DRS train as we're going to go on to the final lap soon. As we see James now trying to overtake the back marker of H. Bosworth. And Big Weir is going to go down the inside of James in the Alfa Romeo. There's drivers behind getting involved in incidents. By the looks of things, Waitsy still holds on from Darth Vader. The yellow flag, I think, was out for H. Bosworth. He just got himself out of the way of the action and didn't want to get himself into any incidents. Big Weir has now moved himself up into 4th place. Who's going to snatch that 4th at the end of this race?
Well, we've still got one more lap to go. I'm going to say could be possible James.
James has got a penalty though. What penalty has he got? And so has Anthony now. So as I said, Big Weir doesn't need to take any risks unless he really wants to get it on the road. I know some drivers really do like to get it on the road. A driver who can do that is Darth Vader, who is just behind Waitsy in 7th place. He's faced the wrong direction a few times, Waitsy, in this race. But it looks like he's going to bang himself a decent haul of points as Darth Vader is going to be attacking now. Waitsy has got the DRS. James moves up. We're looking in the background. Anthony has got Waitsy just behind him. Makes a mistake again, potentially. No, he still holds on to that 6th place. The Alpha Tauri is clipping and biting at the gearbox of that Red Bull Is Darth Vader going to go for the lunge down the inside of Waitsy? Might go a little bit deep here. He's going to have to give up the position he does to Darth Vader. Darth Vader moves himself up into 7th place now. James is into 4th, but with that time penalty, he's going to drop back and maybe a couple of positions potentially. Darth Vader gets past Anthony on the final lap, might move himself another position. Anthony, of course, will go defensive and does try to hold on. They go side by side. Darth Vader goes round the outside. That's the second time today we've seen that. Veloce Ayub crosses the line to win for the second time in Monday's Limitless 1. And Stinos crosses the line to finish 3rd. Anthony Apex is 2nd. Just looking back, James crosses the line. Big Weir takes 4th. Where's Darth Vader going to come? He comes 6th, sorry. Waitsy comes 7th. 8th is Anthony. 9th is Iggy Combo. Merv Martin rounds out the top 10. By the looks of things, we've got a yellow flag on the start finish. That's Crossfire Strikes, who's struck himself out of the race. And Lewis is rounded out as well. We had Carnage a couple of weeks ago in Tuesday on the final lap. Make sure to go and check that out, actually, as Big Weird did really have a funny reaction at the end of that race. MSC Trunders close, but not close enough. Another week of MSC Trunders not getting any points in this Grand Prix. Finishes 11th today, so that's 12 rounds without a point for the British driver. Hope he can come back next week and bag himself some points lead. That was a good race. I was going to say something else, but I won't.
That was like, I actually felt myself actually like getting like engrossed in it, to be honest. Like the battle was just wow.
Well, we'll just go through the final finishing orders. So as I said, Veloce Ayub took pole position and took the win, but he didn't take fastest a lap. That was Crossfire Strikes who stole that away from the top 10. So as I said, a pretty good performance from Veloce. Closes that gap, but not by very much, to the championship leader as he gets himself a big haul of points. Again, Apex Finley finishes in 2nd. The Dutchman, really the flying Dutchman now, Leave Stinos in 3rd place, getting himself 15 points. Started 19th on the grid, certainly driver of the day today. Big Weir finished 4th. James was 5th. Darth Vader, the Argentinian, finished 6th. Waitsy was 7th. Anthony was 8th. Iggy Combo was 9th. Merv Martin was 10th. 11th was MFC Trunders. Lewis F1 was 12th. H. Bosworth was 13th. Crossfire Strikes was 14th. Luxe Germany, Chemjazz, Shugs Live, Shock Be Like, and Robin all didn't finish. The Italian Grand Prix, Iggy Combo, was the best of the Tuesday drivers today. The only one to actually get some points for the Williams there. Anyway, I'm going to have a lie down now. That was exciting. So tomorrow night we're in Italy again tomorrow, but a different venue, Imola, for the San Marino Grand Prix. So make sure to check that one out with Kem and Big Weir. Thanks to Kem, by the way, for helping me out last week, for taking over the comms for Monday last week. We've got the final round of Thursday. We will be coming back, but it might not be as you know it for Thursday. It might be a little bit different, but that will be the Brazilian Grand Prix on Thursday. And next week on Monday is the Hungarian Grand Prix for these Monday drivers. So they're going to have to really pull something out of the bag to get some good overtakes done there, because we all know it is Monaco without the walls, Lee. I know you're a big fan of Hungary, though.
Oh yeah, Hungary is... it's got a special place in my heart, to be honest. To be honest, it's just a fun track, to be honest.
That's in your opinion, Lee. That's in your opinion. You know, normal human beings of this earth think Monaco is horrendous. Sorry, Monaco is horrendous. Hungary is horrendous. I was looking at the track map there, looking at the Monaco flag, so I said it. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow night with Kem and Big Rear. Please make sure to like this video and also make sure to subscribe to get us to that 200 mark before F1 2022. Even though I can't wait for F1 2022. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks again.